Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching FOODCASTER. I'm Michael and today we have Sam Eats Plants. But before we start, this wonderful sound you're hearing is coming from Soundshark's microphone. Just go to soundsharkaudio.com. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Listen, you said we don't need that much protein to live.
No.
But if you want to get protein, can we get it from nuts?
You can get protein from all plant matter. That's whole.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how there's this idea that, all right, you're plant-based, you need to make sure you have good quality protein, eat a lot of beans and nuts.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't the plant food that has the highest percentage of protein or amino acids really are greens and vegetables in terms of percentage.
Okay.
Beans and nuts get this kind of category. I'm not really sure why, but they kind of get it like, oh, get your protein here.
Mm-hmm.
Beans are 80% carbohydrates, so it's a carbohydrate food. And nuts, depending on which one, are anywhere from 50% to 90% fat. Now, when they are like 50% fat, like almonds, then I guess you would have a decent percentage of protein in things like almonds. But don't look for that in macadamia nuts.
No?
No. Macadamia nuts are like 90 to 95% fat, so you're hardly going to get any. It really depends on what nuts.
I bought some stuff. What do you think?
Well, what I think, period, is it's fine. It's nuts and dried fruit. I bet without looking
Okay.
that there's sugar added to these dried cranberries. Now let's go see.
Let's
see. Oh, look. Ingredients. Cranberries, parentheses, sugar, sunflower oil. So, walnuts, raw pepitas, which is really funny. They put pepitas. It's just Spanish for pumpkin seeds. I don't know why they didn't put pumpkin seeds.
I guess it sounds fancy.
It does sound fancy. Unsalted roasted almonds. And it's roasted in peanut and / or canola oil. And raw pecans and raw pistachios. So it's fine. A real purist would be like, no, there's sugar in the cranberries, so I'm not gonna eat it.
So I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah.
I just got excited because I saw the omega-3s, deluxe, and all that stuff.
It's fine. I mean, there's some raw nuts in there which are really cool. Depending on certain people, some people have a harder time digesting raw nuts. Some of them have to be at least soaked and sprouted, or cooked. For some people.
I used to buy the container with cranberries, but a lot of times it's the sugar.
Oh, you mean the dried cranberries?
Yeah, but it's too sugary. It's too sweet for me.
Because cranberries are so bitter, sour, and tart that I always do this. I feel so bad. For American palates, we tend to not want that, and so to make it sellable, they make it very sweet. Or it probably wouldn't really sell like that. But you can get fresh cranberries more and more these days. And you can definitely get frozen cranberries. And if you try to just eat those, they're very tart. They're very sour, but incredibly beneficial and healthy in such a specific way, especially when it comes to certain chronic diseases. And so for me, when you take a dried cranberry and then you toss it with oil, because it's not just sugar in it, it's also oil.
Right.
So you toss it with oil, and then you add sugar, and then you cook it. A lot of the reasons why someone would suffer through the tart taste of cranberries because of, let's say, cancer or something else that has to do with DNA and DNA repair, they get negated when you toss it with oil and sugar and then roast it. Because once you cook oil, it's rancid. So if you're eating cranberries for cancer health, and now you're eating rancid oil, which promotes cancer. So it's you kind of just mess that up. And then on top of that, sugar is one of the biggest foods that we eat that actually feed cancer cells. So cranberries are really effective in getting rid of cancer cells, but then you put sugar on it. And
That defeats the purpose.
In a lot of ways. I will say I mean, I guess you still get some benefit, but it's not the same. But overall, that bag is fine for any regular person.
A bag of tricks.
It's better than like a bag of potato chips, for sure. Like,
and I was debating on getting a bag of chips, but I said, because sometimes you just want a snack.
Yes.
So I want to have the healthy snack as possible. I also bought a container of mixed nuts, and I ate them. But like the third day, I put them all in a pot, like a pan, and just heat them up. Is there a difference warming up and having roasted nuts
It
versus?
depends. If you bought them raw and then you did it, there's a difference. But if you did not buy raw nuts, they're already cooked. So then there's not a difference.
Okay.
It would have to say raw. Like, trust me. I mean, if it doesn't say raw, it's not. It's already roasted or cooked or something. But here's something also keep in mind. So our mind and our addiction goes to powdery things that are reduced down and they're potent. So it could be cocaine or salt or sugar. It all kind of does the same thing. So whether it's potato chips or even roasted salted nuts, we would tend to overeat because of that brain chemistry that's coming with eating the salt. So if you get raw nuts that are unsalted, or even roasted nuts that are unsalted, no, because they're roasted with oil, raw nuts, and you snack on them, you'll eat significantly less than if you got roasted salted nuts and snacked on them. You'll just keep going, because that salt and the rancid oil, like, it does something with our brain and we just keep going. More. It's the same thing with potato chips. Right. And honestly, if we can get unsalted potato chips, you'll end up eating less than if they were salted. And it's just how our brain chemistry works with this stuff.
Right.
So
that's like that commercial.
Which one?
You just can't eat one.
Yeah, yeah.
You literally can't.
You physically, it's like going against all the chemistry in your body to just eat one.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got them.
They understand brain chemistry. Sugar will get you, salt will get you, powdery substances will get you, reduced things will get you.
Yeah. I tried to get the mixed nuts also without sugar. It's kind of hard. Well, it's getting better, but sometimes it's hard to find to have nuts without sugar.
You can't do it in
without salt. To be lightly salted or crazy salted.
This also is more than just availability. It's now we're talking about food economics and availability within neighborhoods. Because if you go to like the big organic chain of like health food, you can easily find unsalted nuts. It's all over the place. It's not hard. It's harder in neighborhoods. You know, you're not going to really find them around the way, around the corner. Definitely not in bodegas. Because they won't sell. Right. You know, they're speaking to our addictions. You know, so in order for it to get sold, so they wouldn't sell unsalted nuts. You'd have to go to a health-centered store, and then you can find it easily.
Or the wholesale chains. That's where I picked that up. You know, that commercial for any of them, but you know, where you can get things
everything in bulk. Yeah, you could get it there. And still, if you want to get the version that has no salt, that's cool. Most regular people are not going to, on their own, just pick the unsalted version.
Right.
Because the salted version appeals more to their mind and appeals more to their taste buds, and so they do that, and they'll tend to overeat, and then they eat too much fat, and a lot of people don't realize how fatty nuts are. And then just like stomping down on the fat. It's real, for real.
Oh, man.
That's the thing with nuts.
What's better, nuts or berries? Are they pretty much the same, or
no, berries? Berries
really?
Are amazing. Oh my God, beyond. First of all, out of any healthful, in general food we could eat, berries are somewhere near the top because of their color: red, purple, practically black with blackberries, which is really just a deep indigo. Blue. They're full of anthocyanins, which are clinically proven to kill cancer cells. That's one. Second, super high in antioxidants. And we're a walking around free radical bomb because we have not only is this the way we eat, but like we're breathing in pollution. We take planes, and so we're having like electromagnetic wave interference. We get free radicals all over. You know, we cook everything in oil. We eat deep fried foods. All this stuff is creating free radicals, which damage DNA. That's
what it does.
Leads to and damage DNA is cancer. And antioxidants take those free radicals and they're like, get out, boom, you're gone. That's what antioxidants do. Free radicals also age us. Same thing, because it damages DNA. So it creates the wrinkles, the dryness of the skin, the dryness of the hair, blah, 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 blah. So when you eat a lot it's so funny because my breakfast is behind me.
What you got over there?
It's a pint of blueberries. That's what I will eat as my first time of eating
during the day.
Yeah, but it's oh my god, they're phenomenal. And then on top of that, they're super easy to digest. They're very easy on the environment because it's easy to grow. It's not like it takes a lot out of our soil and out of our planet. It's like the
So wait a minute. So you could totally give up nuts and not eat nuts.
I don't eat nuts.
Oh, you don't eat nuts?
I don't like them.
Oh, interesting.
It's because I just don't like them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't eat nuts. Let me try to think of what.
So wait.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. So you could live fine off water, vegetables, and berries.
I think for a lot of people, I couldn't tell you a number,
right?
But definitely over 50% of the human population, definitely, could live healthfully off of real greens and veggies, real berries and other fruits, and clean water, and then live well.
And be strong and
absolutely
healthy.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And I'm basing this off of things I've read, studies I've found, and so I'm drawing this hypothesis, and this is my hypothesis about this. Yeah, I definitely think so. No, I don't eat nuts. I eat beans. I'm beginning not to really eat grains these days too, but I don't like peanuts. I don't use like almond milk or anything. I really enjoy one brand of soy milk because the only ingredients are soy milk and reverse osmosis water. So I don't even have nuts in like my plant milk. I don't like nut butter, so I don't eat almond butter, peanut butter, walnut butter, pecan butter.
So what kind of milk do you use?
Soy milk.
Soy milk.
I like a specific brand. If that brand isn't around and I can't find it, I don't buy soy milk from any other brand. It's just that one I'll buy. Because I know they don't use GMO soybeans. I know, and it's organic, and there's only 2 ingredients: reverse osmosis water and organic whole soybeans.
What is reverse osmosis water?
I feel if I explain it, I wouldn't do it justice. I don't even know if I should try.
Okay.
But it's like really good water. It's like this reverse osmosis. There's like distilled water. There's alkaline water. There's all this stuff, man. I don't even know. Water's not my expertise. I'm just like, okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
It's one of those. Okay, it's good enough for me. Yeah. So no, I don't eat nuts.
Interesting. And it's amazing how many more people are becoming allergic to nuts.
Yes.
As time goes on. Now I know one of the reasons is because they're grafting the nuts with other nuts that people are normally, like there's a Brazilian nut that people are just, for the most part, allergic to it.
Yeah.
And they're mixing that with what we can say the American peanut, just to grow it fast. But now people are allergic to it.
When did we learn to stop doing stuff like this? What does it take for humanity to be like, I'm going to leave this alone?
A zombie apocalypse. That's what it's going to take.
And then it's too late. And then the world is starving.
That's what it's going to take.
We already have like salmon genes spliced with like carrot genes, which is awful for people who have seafood allergies. And then they can't figure out why they're having reactions.
To the salmon or just?
To a carrot.
Oh, wow.
Because someone can have a seafood allergy and then not know that a salmon gene was spliced with a veggie of some sort.
So I thought they did that only in the direction to make the salmon orange because it's...
No, the salmon having the color has everything to do with dyes being put in it after it's killed.
Right.
There's nothing to do with like being spliced with any carrot gene. No, the salmon genes have been used for, I believe it's carrot. I don't think it's been any other vegetable. But
why would you do that?
Because they can grow fatter. I don't know the science of this. But someone figured out they can yield more money.
Wow.
Remember, everything goes down to economics.
Right.
So they do it. But the problem is if someone has a seafood allergy and they completely avoid seafood, but they'll get in contact with carrots and they get sick and they're trying to figure out what's happening, it'll be hard for them to figure out that's what's happening. And that's what sucks about it.
Wow.
Yeah. They won't know. Because they'll eat different things every time. One day it could be like carrots and hummus. Maybe they think the hummus did it. And one day it could be like rice chicken with boiled carrots. And they're like, what? Is the chicken bad? Like, it leaves too much room for confusion. And on top of that, since legally no one has to label things GMO, like people just get confused.
So why are peanuts so expensive?
Peanuts are the cheapest of the nuts, though. Peanuts are not.
I mean, not just nuts in general. Why are nuts so expensive?
Oh, because for an almond tree to reach maturity, to fruit, to bear nuts, that already takes 5 years. So it's a long process to even get them ready to bear fruit. And then what they bear, in terms of how we sell things, isn't a whole lot. It's not like an apple tree, which like has a decent amount of fruit every year, and it'll have an orchard of like lots of them. It's different for almonds. I don't know how the other nut plants fare. I know about almonds, and I think they're all kind of similar. And they end up being, for a plant, more water intensive per unit than, let's say, fruits or vegetables. So it takes more effort and more stuff. And so I think less people want to actually go into nut farming.
Okay.
On top of that, so I mean, there's all these little factors.
Right.
And so if less people are already growing it, that means we don't have a whole bunch as much as we could have, and so definitely the price is going to be higher. Because if there was more in the market, then the price is lower.
Would go lower, right?
Yeah.
And then, but with berries, it grows.
I mean, if you're in like the Pacific Northwest, you don't even have to try to grow berries. They're all along the highways. They're in people's like front yards, and they don't even want them there.
Wow.
Berries are fine. The only thing is transporting berries can be tricky because berries can get damaged so easily.
Right.
Other than that, like berries are easy. Fruit is easy. That's why I feel like most people should eat a fruit-heavy diet.
So, you're in an urban area, correct?
Yes.
You see how I put that out there like that? You don't need to know exactly where you at. You're in an urban area. Can you grow berries in your backyard?
Yes.
Can you do it in your house?
I don't know. I'm also not an agricultural person, so maybe someone who has more expertise in that could have an answer. I know they grow in temperate zone, and they can grow in warmer weather too. I don't know how well they grow in tropical weather though.
Okay.
I don't know if they can grow at all, or it's like a really washed out season. I don't know. But they go in temperate zones. So like anywhere in Canada and the vast majority of the US, you can grow berries.
Okay.
You can grow berries. I mean, but the pests get to it real quick. I'm not a farmer. I don't know how they keep their stuff from getting so infested. I don't know. But they're really great. I've come across people from the South who tell me like stories about going strawberry picking. Their grandmother made them and how much they hated it and da-da-da-da. And now I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had that. You don't know what you had. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool to be able to do that. Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be an influx of people doing that. It's funny, anytime you hear anyone wanting to grow things at home, it's usually illegal things. And I wish we'd put that same energy into fruits and vegetables.
Some try. So there's a park, or plans for a park. I read about this like 3 years ago, so actually it might be a real park now, in Seattle, Washington. And their whole thing is going to be like a food forest. So they were going to grow things that bear fruit all over this park.
And people can just come there and eat?
But basically, if you feel like it, the thing is, since most of us are not used to it, most people wouldn't do that. Most people are not going to reach and get a plum. Because we've been so sanitized, we want to get a plum from a supermarket. But one of the concerns someone said about this is crazy. I said he, I don't know if it was a he or she.
Okay.
This person said, but what if the homeless start eating the food? And it's like, this is the point. Like, because that's what food should be. Food shouldn't really have a price tag because it should just be growing.
Right.
Another idea is lawns should be done away with.
Right.
Why do we have inedible grass that we have to keep manicured when we could be growing things that we can eat?
Right. Well, you know the history behind that,
yes,
right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be cool if we can walk around and do that. And then one of the stories I love repeating is because I have parents from a tropical place, and they did not have the economics to just buy food the way they would want to buy food. But they said, we just would eat fruit on the way to school and on the way back, and so we were full. And it's like, yeah, because food should be free. Lions don't pay for food. Elephants don't pay for food. Gorillas don't pay for food. Turtles don't pay for food. We put a price tag on something that should just be randomly placed.
And there's enough land, there's enough resources on this planet that everyone could be more than fed and more than having enough.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Not only is there enough land on this planet, but for the territories that belong to the United States, there is so much. Per person that lives here, so much land. So much land we can be doing things with. And here's another thing when it comes to like food availability. There was a rich man, economically fine. He was completely fine, retired, old. He was elderly, actually. And I guess he had like a wheat farm. But he was elderly and doesn't really care to like make that into anything. And he was fine in his life. So he decided, okay, what I'm going to do is like I'll have people that harvest the wheat, grain it up, and I'll give it for free to single mothers.
Oh, that's nice.
They fined him.
What?
Yeah, the local authorities. This is, I believe, it's Minnesota. Wow. I read this a few years ago because their concern, this is so crazy, was that it provides unfair competition to wheat growers. Now, I would say this man does not have like football fields upon football fields upon football fields of wheat, and he literally was just giving it to single mothers.
Right.
And he's old.
But that doesn't even make any sense because
I know it doesn't.
It almost goes with the Napster kind of argument. You know, there's so many arguments that you could give. Yeah. It's like, it's mine and I decide to give it away. But it's mine.
But it's yours.
I could do what I want.
Whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
But so if we look deeper, and I always say you follow the money, follow the economics. This is, I believe that this was an effort to create this idea that you are not free to do what you want with things that are necessary for people to live. Let me try to say it again.
Did he lose?
I heard it on NPR. 5 years ago, I didn't follow it. I didn't follow it to see what happened in the end. But I liken that to something that's not about food, but a woman in Florida who was really sustainable, environmental, who wanted to be completely off the grid. And she finally got to the point where she could be completely off the grid. She didn't need to be along any electrical grid cut off. She was fined. And in Florida, it's illegal to not be on the grid. It's illegal. So any other person is like, why? This is benefiting humanity if you could do it. But much like this man in the wheat, what I was saying is it's like sending out a message for others to understand you cannot do for people things that are of no cost when it comes to things that people need to live. We're at this point because of modernization, we need electricity to live. And you're getting it for free from the sun completely, where even if the grid shut off due to a hurricane, you are good.
Right.
No. And no to everybody else. Here's another thing that's illegal in Florida. You can have a well. So you can have well water, you can dig a well, you can get access to water from a well. But it is illegal to then bring that into your home. It's like you can do what you want. It's crazy. But I think they're all connected. All three things are connected because that leads to self-sufficiency.
Right.
And that messes up economics, at least for huge corporations. Instead of saying it can lead to a different type of economics, which we all can benefit from. So it's the same thing with giving food away.
And if this whole thing, if we're a capitalistic society, you should be
if we're truly capitalistic, then it's all about like self-entrepreneurship, right? Mm-hmm. So in self-entrepreneurship, these things should be exactly
right.
And truly and so then it's beyond capitalist and it's more like playing a monopoly game. So which big corporations are going to dictate how regular individuals get to do legal things with the things that they want that are normal around them? Their own plants that are growing, their own water they can dig a well in, or participate in capitalism by getting like these solar panels, outfitting a house to be super environmental, that's something we need for the future, but then saying, oh, but you have to always be hooked up to a grid. That means every month you're still going to pay about $20 a month for electricity, even though you don't need it.
Even though you don't need it.
Yes.
Yeah, because I heard about that with the solar panels, how you're still tied to the grid.
Yeah.
And also, it's interesting, you're gaining a whole bunch of electricity that is bought back and sold, or taken back and sold to others.
Yeah.
Whatever's extra.
Yeah.
But you still have a bill. Like you said, it's nice $5, $10, $20. But it was my electricity.
Yep.
Which is free coming from the sun.
Exactly. So true capitalism would allow for those scenarios.
Let's do an episode on being off the grid. Because this was great in reference to nuts and berries. I like where it went. No, don't laugh. It's fine. I like where you were with it because it's important. But nuts and berries are great.
Yeah.
And you need to get in on it. But try to stay away from anything with added sugar.
This is the takeaway when it comes to nuts and berries.
Okay, go for it.
Freshest is best. So that means whole berries and real nuts.
Okay.
Stay away from adulterated fruits and nuts, meaning dried fruit. Not a big deal because, come on, there's candy bars. So dried fruit is way better than candy bars. But the idea is fresh fruit, real nuts, no salt added, not roasted in rancid oil. But because they're already so much better than things that we do in our modern life,
Okay.
If you want to go ahead.
But it's a step up. But no dried fruit.
You can have dried fruit. I'm just saying it's better to have whole, fresh fruit. That is full of filtered water because nature filtered it.
Ooh, hey, Mother Nature. Give everybody your social media.
You can find me at Sam Eats Plants on Instagram.
Woohoo! Sam Eats Plants. And I'm Michael. You're watching FOODCASTER, all about having a relationship with food. You can go to our Instagram, The Real FOODCASTER. Accept no imitations. And we'll keep talking. Keep listening. Thank you very much.